hide my face from them, and I shall deliver them into the hands of the Gentiles for captivity, and for a prey, and for devouring. And I shall remove them from the midst of the land, and I shall scatter them amongst the Gentiles.
So now we're scattered amongst the Gentiles. So there's no confusion that that already came to pass. So that's happened. What happened? What did the Most High say was going to happen while we're amongst the Gentiles?
And they will forget all my law and all my commandments and all my judgments, and will go astray as to the new moons, Sabbaths, festivals, jubilees, and ordinances. So
we would go astray. So you can't say that everybody is knowing this information if the Most High already told you that once you were amongst the Gentiles, you would go astray to the new moons, the Sabbaths, the festivals, the jubilees. Well, you know that got to be us, because we're the only one waking up talking about even keeping the Sabbath, doing the new moons, or the festivals, or the jubilees. And we live amongst the Gentiles. Okay? What else did he say further?
And after this, they will turn to me from amongst the Gentiles.
So we would turn to the Most High from amongst the Gentiles. Tell me we ain't doing that right now. We're turning to the Most High from amongst the Gentiles, so that must be us. Read.
Amongst the Gentiles with all their heart, and with all their soul, and with all their strength. And I shall gather them from amongst all the Gentiles, and they will seek me, so that I shall be found of them, when they seek me with all their heart and with all their soul.
So we will seek the Most High from amongst the Gentiles. Are we not doing that? So, you know, I'm going to cut it right there in your PDF. As you see, it's black bold face. I just want to point that out, how we're actually living out these prophecies right now just by waking up and doing what we're doing. So, shout out to you, Israel. But to answer that question, how was the Sabbath kept in heaven before it was known to man? Let's turn now to chapter 2, and it's verse 1 through 33. But we want to skip on down. That's a lot to read. And we want to answer that question and get right straight to the point. I want you to start at, in the PDF, if you look at the PDF, you can see I listed the whole chapter, 1 through 33. Definitely read the whole chapter. Like I said, we got a little, we almost at the end, we on page 28. We still got a lot more to cover. So I want you to read that on your own, but I'm going to read the answer to that question right in the scripture. It was right in the answer was right in the same scripture. So I want you to start right here. Read that from 16, verse 16. And he finished all his work.
Jubilees, chapter 2, verse 16. And he finished all his work on the sixth day, all that is in the heavens and on the earth, and in the seas and in the abysses, and in the light and in the darkness, and in everything. And he gave us a great sign, the Sabbath day, that we should work 6 days, but keep the Sabbath on the seventh day from all work. You know, and all the angels of the presence, and all the angels of the sanctification. These two great classes he hath given us to keep the Sabbath with him in heaven and on earth. And he said unto us, Behold, I will separate unto myself a people from among all the peoples, and these will keep the Sabbath day.
So he will separate a people to himself to keep the Sabbath. Now, remember back in the Babylonian, in the first part of the teaching, we spoke on the Babylonians, and we verified that it was a kingdom still made by Most High, We know that they built the Tower of Babel. They started worshiping other gods. They turned from the Most High. But it was something in that research that wasn't quite accurate. It said that they kept the Sabbath. Now, we understand that they kept the lunar cycle as far as keeping time. But was the Babylonians ordained to keep the Sabbath? Well, the Most High just told you he separated unto himself a people unto himself that will keep the Sabbath. Let's read further and get understanding to that. Read.
And will bless them as I have sanctified the Sabbath day and do sanctify it unto myself, even so shall I bless them. And they will be my people, and I shall be their God.
Read.
And I have chosen the seed of Jacob.
So he chosen the seed of Jacob to be the people for him to keep the Sabbath. Did he say the seed of Babylon?
Let's see Babylon.
Did he say Adam?
Let's see Babylon.
Oh. So basically what I'm saying is nobody kept the Sabbath. Even though it's in Genesis that he ordained the Sabbath, nobody kept the Sabbath until the seed of Jacob, right? Let's give more understanding on that. Read.
And I have chosen the seed of Jacob from amongst all that I have seen, and I have written him down as my firstborn son, and I have sanctified him unto myself forever and ever. And I will teach them the Sabbath day, that they may keep the Sabbath thereon from all work. And thus he created therein a sign, in accordance with which they should keep the Sabbath with us, and on the seventh day to eat, to drink, and to bless him who hath created all things, as he hath blessed and sanctified unto himself a peculiar people, above all people, and that they should keep Sabbath together with us. And he caused his commands to ascend as sweet savor, acceptable before him all the days. There were 22 heads of mankind from Adam to Jacob.
From who to what?
There were 22 heads of mankind from Adam to Jacob. And 22 kinds of work were made. Until the seventh day, this is blessed and holy, and the former also is blessed and holy. And this one serves which the one for sanctification and blessing.
Read.
And to this Jacob and his seed, it is granted that they should always be the blessed and holy ones of the first testimony and law.
So with the Bible, so that couldn't be accurate what Esau had in his research about the Babylonians keeping the Sabbath to all these different gods, because the Sabbath wasn't even known to man until who?
Until Jacob's seed came along.
Okay. Now, I want you to just skip on down. Let's verify that. Skip on down and read 30. And read that all the way to 33.
Jubilees, chapter 2, verse 30. And they shall not bring in nor take out from house to house on that day. For that day is more holy and blessed than any Jubilee day of the Jubilees. On this we kept Sabbath in heaven before it was made known to any flesh to keep the Sabbath there on the earth. And the Creator of all things blessed him. But he did not sanctify all the people and nations to keep the Sabbath thereon.
He did what?
He did not sanctify all nations to keep the Sabbath thereon. But Israel alone.
But who alone?
But Israel alone.
But who alone?
But Israel alone.
So therefore the Babylonians could not have kept the Sabbath day, right?
No, it says Israel alone.
Israel alone. So to answer the question, how was the Sabbath kept in heaven kept in heaven before it was known to man? Well, if you know it, the Sabbath in heaven is the seventh day. Israel, the seed of Israel didn't come along until the 8th day. Well, you know that 1 day in the Most High time is 1,000 years on earth time. So therefore, that means that the Sabbath was kept 1,000 years in heaven, or 1 day in heaven, before man even kept it on earth, which was Israel was the only one ordained to keep the Sabbath. So that's how the Sabbath was kept in heaven.